Hey all, Andrew here. Game collecting, am I right? Hey, what's happening? What's going on? Oh my god, what's happening? No! Whoa, that was close. It was as if I was dangerously close to ripping off a far more successful creator. I'm sure that causing reality to glitch out won't have any major consequences down the road. Alright, let's see what we're doing today. Oh, it's time to make a video essay on game collecting. Hello everyone, I am Andrew Dornan, also known as Wealthkind here on YouTube, and today we're starting a new sub-series of video essays on game collecting. In the modern age of gaming, there seems to be a push by game publishers to offer their products exclusively through digital-only platforms. This clashes with many consumers' worries about game preservation and others' desires to have physical copies. However, there are pros and cons to both digital releases and physical copies. We'll be looking at those very pros and cons in today's video essay. Just a quick heads up, we have chapters again, so you can scrub along that time bar to skip ahead and skip back to any point in the video. Also, behind me, I got this lovely shoji screen from my local thrift store. They had a huge just load of them brought in and donated, and I picked this guy up. So expect to see this little shoji screen in a few more videos. Part 1, physical copies. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm biased towards physical copies. I mean, just look at these things. Most of these have great art, can be placed on a physical shelf to look at, and they're just plain lovely. Why don't we get more specific about what the positives are of having the physical copy of a game? For starters, I'm a big physical media fan in general, especially since I'm the kind of person that puts value on the physical objects around my room. I don't mean just monetary value, but also sentimental value. I can easily look at my copy of Super Mario Galaxy 2 and tell you the story of how my dad and I went to GameStop many years ago on Thanksgiving night so I could snag this and one other game during their buy one get one sale. Or this copy of Splatoon that I got at my local Walmart while I was there with my mom during Black Friday. Heck! This is actually my third copy of Emerald because my first one was stolen and my second copy disappeared into the ether. It's not just the stories behind getting the physical copies, but also thumbing through the instructional booklets or any promotional material that happens to be in the game case. Hell, some instructional manuals even have starter guides to help you get through the early game. Another perk of having physical games is that the only ways for them to be removed from your library is by you, a thief, or God himself, unlike, say, digital games, which can be removed from a storefront at any time without notice. One last thing that I will say as a positive for physical games is that, with the exception of PC games and modern Xbox and PlayStation games, you don't have to install these games onto your console or handhelds. Nothing is more satisfying than when you were a kid and saving up money for that next game. You go to GameStop and hand over your sacred green for an even more sacred Pokemon Leaf Green. You slide the cartridge into your Game Boy or Nintendo DS, and the game starts instantly. That feeling of being able to instantly play the game that you bought is so nice. I could go on a tangent about how modern video games require you to install them onto your consoles, but that's a video for another day. Of course, it isn't all sunshine and rainbows when it comes to collecting physical games. Some games I bought loose or came in these awful GameStop cases, while some other cases are just not in the best of shape. And that's not even all of it. Some of my games just straight up have a hard time working, like my copy of Mass Effect 3 for the Wii U or Monsters Inc. for the Game Boy Advance. The copy of Deus Ex Human Revolution that I own now is actually my third copy. My Wii U refused to read the first copy, and the second copy would run for like a minute and then crash. Thankfully, this one runs like a dream. One of the biggest downsides for many people is the fact that these games take up physical space on a shelf, and those shelves take up physical space in their bedroom, living room, or closet. I've had to slow my roll when it comes to buying console games because I'm running out of space on that shelf, but thankfully I still have space on my other shelf for handheld games. The other major downside to having physical games is that you need hardware to play them on, and those consoles and handhelds can really eat up space. Even consoles and handhelds, while sometimes rare, can and will fail, like my Wii's disk drive or my first Xbox 360, which refused to read disc, or my second Xbox 360, which gave me a red ring of death. Thankfully, for this third model, which was a 500GB Elite, I have not had any issues. I'm starting to notice a trend. As you can see, there are lots of positives to owning physical games, and there are also a lot of downsides. However, we can't stop there because we also need to talk about Part 2, Digital Copies, Pros and Cons. At the time this part of the script was written, I had a grand total of 700 games exactly. What the fuck? Just like with physical games, I would like to start out with some positives of owning digital games. The first point that I'd like to raise, and also easily the main reason why people buy digitally, is convenience. When you buy a video game through GOG or Steam, you don't have to worry about the condition of the game you're buying or the price varying depending on demand, or even having to interact with other humans. Plus, some stores don't charge sales tax for most states in the United States, so that may also be enticing for buyers. Additionally, once you buy the game, it drops straight into your library for you to download and install. The other positives include frequent sales at these digital storefronts that make getting your most wanted games that much easier. Some games only get a small discount, while others get up to 90% off their original price. Additionally, these digital games don't take up physical space, which is enticing for those with small rooms or homes. However, that's where the positives end and the negatives begin. The biggest negative by far is that in order to download the latest games, you either need a really good internet speed to be able to play those games as soon as possible, or you'll have to wait hours or even a day to be able to play the thing you bought. Not everyone has access to speeds in the gigabytes, so many will have to sit idly by while their internet slowly works through the download. This brings me to another point. These storefronts rely on a stable internet connection to access and even have a form of digital rights management, or DRM, that prevents users from accessing games they have installed on their machines if they are without internet. On the same hand, these games being offered digitally means that if a license for a game expires, or if the developer or publisher pulls the game from their service, then users will not be able to purchase or re-download these games. We've even seen this happen with Nintendo shutting down the Wii Shop channel and the DSi Shop channel. There is also the problem of hard drive space, as many people's games libraries can quickly climb into the hundreds. This leaves them unable to have all of their games downloaded and playable at one time. However, the counter argument to that is that there's no need to have all 700 of your digital games downloaded if you only play 10 to 20 of them throughout the year. Overall, there are pros and cons to both collecting physical games and purchasing games digitally. However, in the modern day, and more specifically in the United States, digital-only games have more worrying downsides than positives. Additionally, by buying physical games, not only are you forming memories up to and at the point of purchase, but you also have a piece of gaming history that sits on your shelf. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As a quick reminder, this is part 1 of a multi-part series on game collecting. If you like this style of video, let me know by hitting like and telling me so in the comments down below. Additionally, if you want more content, I have Let's Plays that air every single weekday, except for the time taken off between breaks. I also have a Facebook page, a Twitter, and a website that you can check out in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.